Hello and welcome to another round of SirToshi's debates. I have with me today Emanuele, who was straight out the gate wanting to maybe challenge me or debate me after yesterday's very first ever debate. So I'm quite looking forward to this. It's always good meeting new people and sharing points of view and stuff like that. But before we get started, experience the best of both worlds today at betbitcoinsv.com, the best casino and sports betting on chain. Have a little flutter in private using the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Right, let's cue the music.
SirToshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the terror node, you'll surely see.
We're going live on SirToshi platform, so now
here we go. Right, we are live, Emanuele. Are you there?
Yeah.
Hey, excellent. Right, do you want to just introduce yourself to everybody, and then just tell them why you got in contact with me and what this thing's going to be about?
Absolutely, yes. This is my pleasure. So first of all, I want to say that I'm not here to debate or challenge you, but I want to really discuss and open new windows on this Bitcoin affair that is so huge and big, and I'm following since ever, I can say. But yes, I want to introduce myself also because I'm following you after since it's 4 years or more.
Hey.
So almost daily. So I can say I know a lot of you. I know how you speak. I know you're saying almost everything of you, but probably you know very little or nothing about me. I don't know what you know. So that's why I want to introduce me. I want to introduce a little bit. So. I don't know where to start. I'm 49 years old, well lived on this planet. And my journey into Bitcoin starts in 2000. Really, I read the first article of Bitcoin in 2010. And I was in Australia, in Sydney. I'm Italian, I'm born in Italy, but I traveled the world. I was there because I traveled the world as a technician for the show business. I was a technician, I was a light engineer. Before that, I was a sound engineer. Before that, I was a DJ. So my passion, my whole life was music, electronic, novelties, and I was curious by nature. So I started to investigate as well the money issues, money printing back in 2004, 2005 when internet came in Italy massively, well, way before, but I start to get in the thing. And so I have 20 years of knowledge now about money as well, monetary issues. But then in 2011, I really, just because I was so curious and investigating too many things on the internet, I had an explosion in my brain that led me to some really deep understanding of what politics is. That's why, and when I became the politicator, I really changed my life, and that's why today I'm here talking with you. Otherwise, I was still, putting up gears for concerts, televisions, theaters, whatever, and big, huge shows. I was really a chief electrician with a huge company in Italy. So that was my previous life, and then I became a politicator because I discovered many things, and I also envisioned a new voting system that is called the perfect choice and the dual vote, and that's when I encountered as well Bitcoin, because I was following, yes, the money, as I said, and all the rest. So I read this first article in 2010, probably when Bitcoin had the first quoting on the market. So that's why this article came out, because I was following, right, all the environment of finance, money, but moreover, the politics of money, not just the financial side. I was pretty ignorant still. In fact, I didn't buy. And I didn't even know all this madness of the so-called stock market and whatever else you can buy and sell, trading. I mean, I was aware of the mess of the thing that was, but I never put my really hands into it. I never was into a platform trading myself. So a couple of years later, while I started to develop my project that is still under development today, In 2012, just because all these articles and things, I really start to get into Bitcoin, and I bought some. And from there, yes, I have now it's 2024, so almost 12 years of experience. I lived all the story of the forks, all the dramas, and I'm into the debates since 4 years, since I really grasped the thing of the Segwit and the basic functions of Bitcoin in 2018-19, because despite the fact I was following all this in the previous years, I was also developing a lot about my project that still need to be discovered. So I was following as much as possible, but I really grasped the fucking Segwit thing and the importance of signature and all the things, because again, I'm not from a deeply technical standpoint. I don't know how to code. I don't know how to read the code. I don't know many things. So I learned in time. So in 2019, finally, or after the fork, the latest BSP fork, so 1 year later, I really grasped that thing of the forks. What was the issues about all this mess of the crypto that I lived? Again, since the beginning, I went through all the fucking shit coin and things, trying to explore which is better, the mechanics, this and that, because I was looking at the politics. The politics of all this was about it. And here we are today. So this was my introduction, and I'm here open for everyone. Everyone wants to join my channel since ever. I produce, in fact, in Italian, you can watch on my channel since 2017, 16, 18. I started to do live shows about cryptos. Since that time, then I stopped. I did others. So but I'm still on it. I'm working on all these things because I present myself now not just as a terrestrial human being, because that's the first truth and the first argument that I've seen to establish, but one of the three that I really want to debate: the identity, what is politics, and what is money. Because if we do not have these bricks, these fundamental bricks of definitions, yes, it's all about the definition. But definition is already politics. Yeah, but we're not really going anywhere because we are not building on the same blocks to say.
Very good. So when did you purchase your first Bitcoin?
In 2012-13.
Oh,
the
wow.
price was about 500 euros. I bought in euros. About 500 euros.
Wow, fantastic. And have you held all the way up to $100,000?
No, no, no. Of course, no. Because I follow the truth. So
Yeah.
of course I did many things in time, and it's okay. I'm not complaining about nothing. I'm okay. It's all fucking fantastic. And by the way, every game is still open. Every game is still open, guys. So yes, I'm here to play.
All right. Let's rock and roll. So so what is it? You want to talk about what money is?
Okay, yes. Let's start, please, with these three definitions. Okay, money. I will give you my definition, and then we discuss from that, because I think we really need to agree first and foremost on what money is. Otherwise, how we can talk about solutions for something that we are not agreeing on what that is. Hence, money is an agreement, a collective public agreement on the mechanics and the value of the unit of exchange.
So I would say that the value of the unit of the exchange has to come from the economic forces of supply and demand. That's how value is created. So if something is valuable, or if something is useful, it becomes valuable. Something is useless, it's worth less. So the value itself is set by economic forces, and then that that unit you can either transfer that exact unit, or you can transfer a securitized version of that unit, which is a claim on it. And if everybody starts using that certificate, which is a claim on it, then that security becomes currency, and then currency becomes like the medium of exchange within that closed economic area or private community. But if you actually start exchanging the unit, let's say that a unit of gold, and like an ounce of gold has a certain market value, and everyone starts using that unit, so long as that unit is either extracted or grown, and therefore doesn't have any central point of authority or control, it can have common value, and it can therefore actually turn into a money. So my definition of money is, first of all, it has to be a commodity, so it's something that's common, that's then been itemized and then uniquely identified. And then if that commodity starts being used as a medium of exchange, then it becomes a tool that enables, encourages and accelerates the facilitation of trade, which means it becomes economically competitive to all these other mediums of exchanges of value. And so what happens is, when a commodity monopolizes a market due to its ability to be used as a medium of exchange, it becomes a monopoly commodity and recognized as money. So that's what money is to me. Mon being the singular, the Y being the commodity. So a monopoly commodity is money for me, and a circulating security is what they refer to as currency.
Yes. Okay. I agree with all you said, SirToshi. And moreover, perhaps I listened at 100 times of what you just said, because you said this at least 1,000 times in your videos in this 4 years.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So, okay, let's start from here. But go back to the beginning. What is value and how is created?
So value is just simply created through the economic forces of supply and demand.
But where a value exists?
So a common market would be created. So, for example, like an exchange where you have buyers and sellers, which when they match, a market price is set.
What is a value?
So value is just simply what someone is willing to pay in exchange for it.
Okay, what someone? Who is that some?
Well, if you're talking about a market, so that...
No, I'm not talking. I'm asking you, who is that someone that wants something?
So that someone would represent demand. So it's anyone who demands, who is wanting it.
So let's define anyone. Who are anyone?
Well, just literally. So if you have an open market where you have buyers and sellers, particularly, and they're trying to agree a price.
Buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
Look, I'm looking for the actors. Okay. Yeah, all these questions. Okay, do you want I expand a little bit on this, trying to explain, or you want I give you questions like this? For me,
yeah. I mean, if you want to, I'm more than happy to listen. Yeah, let's go with your definitions.
Okay, so from my standpoint, you see, who we are, we need to solve this issue. As I said before, 3 things: the definition of money. We need to have a common definition of money. Otherwise, we're not talking about the same thing. Right? And we cannot even explore solutions because we didn't recognize the common problem. So the other problem we have in general is the identity. Yes, the identity, who we are, who are the actors that
buyers,
decides everything. So I have an answer for this. And that's where I'm basing all my political work as well, and all my political proposals that I'm doing here to you. Yes, I'm proposing already to you, SirToshi, because despite of the fact that I don't know your face, I don't know who you are, I don't know where you live, I know your voice, I know what you think, and I know and I bet that you are a terrestrial human being. And I wrote a definition for these 3 words that I am proposing you as a contract, as a public contract, to use to always define the actors of everything, because we, terrestrial human beings, yes, I affirm and I state this, are the actors of everything. So we are the creators of value, first and foremost, because we are the only one that demand for something, are in the need for something, and are also able to produce something that we need, or to go and get something that we need. That, by the way, it's all around us. We just modify the matter and the fabric of the existence that is all around us. So, from there, we terrestrial human beings, historically, because we terrestrial human beings come first, then the markets, the states, the jurisdictions that we created in time, in history, just to ease the commerce, right? That we also create in time, because we born first and then we create everything else. So now we are here in 2024 with all this mess of a thing, of a society and of a thing. So some of us, terrestrial human being, and I am one of those. And I'm telling you here and everyone else, since 12 years, I'm telling you, everyone, I understand now how things works on a deeper or higher level, as much as you fucking want. That's why I started to recognize myself, and I want to be recognized as a terrestrial human being, first and foremost, because we are the actors of everything. So, Satoshi Nakamoto, I bet my life that he or her or she is still, no, a terrestrial human being, because only a terrestrial human being can have the genius to invent a new wheel. Yes, only terrestrial human beings invent wheels and invent, guns and bullets, and also use those instruments that they create. So this is my standpoint to solve the identity issue. So I want to talk and establish a new jurisdiction, right? But that is the real jurisdiction, because I don't need to proclaim the terrestrial jurisdiction, because that was always there. Now I'm telling you, just because I understood the mechanic on a higher level, I'm operating under that jurisdiction that is the true one in place. So from there, yes, we can create, and in fact we created inferior jurisdictions, Italy, Europe, America, whatever else, but also juridical instruments, the corporation, right, the bank. So, but we created, those are entities that are not material, are all immaterial entities that we give life. And the way we give life to those immaterial entities is are contracts. And how a contract is valid? When we put our signature on it.
Yep.
Because that piece of paper, it has a right that we negotiate before, me, you, and everyone else in the public, eventually in that public.
Yep.
In that public. If I'm here, so you see, only you can see me here. And now in 2024, we have these possibilities, you see, to do the same things in 1,000 kilometers, but still the same. And now with Bitcoin, and this is the first time in the history of the humankind, we created together. Yes, Satoshi invented, but we co-created the whole fucking instrument, okay? And we still co-creating every day. We co-create and use that instruments all together. It is a political instrument because it's a common instrument, and in fact, we call it public ledger. I stop here. I want to know what you agree, what you do not agree, what you please.
Yeah. I mean, sounds good so far. Makes sense. We're business and commerce is done through contracts, and it's the signature that authorizes the contract that puts a claim on it, which gives it contractual credibility and therefore gives it economic value because it can be enforced by the courts. And now we have a public ledger with bits of Bitcoin being sent with our digital signature attached to them. Making a contractual payment in a digital commodity. Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect, fantastic. Okay, so now another question I want to ask you. So, are you okay to define yourself as a terrestrial human being? Given that I wrote a definition, and it's on the website. This is translated in 3 languages, but this is under review since more than 10 years. Many people, change it, but that was a co-work, and it's still under scrutiny to be revised. But I don't think, and I think it's pretty stable for the future. And by the way, the meaning is complete. It's a Turing complete, quote unquote, definition for us, period, terrestrial human beings. So what I want to do, in fact, is to build a unified identification system, a registry, the new registry for the whole Earth. This is my crazy project based on this definition. So the first contract and the first true contract and the first true political contract on Earth ever done before, because was not even possible to do before, because this thing is not possible to do on paper. Yes, you can write the definition on paper, you can still sign on paper, but you don't have a system of paper that can work on Earth all at once. Okay, and that's why probably because we invented the internet. See, that's the evolution of the humankind as a whole. That's the beauty of the thing, and that's the thing that now we need to join in our thought, that we as a terrestrial human being are finally connected, because was always like this with everyone else. And now the reality is that just because we have internet, just because we are accessing all this fucking mess of information, we are really discovering what we built in separate environments in time. So we are all now discovering the biggest and the greatest picture all at once, and we do not like that much, but we need to go ahead. You cannot stop the evolution, you cannot stop the world, you cannot stop anything. You can just go along with it and try to do your shit. So that's what I'm trying to do. So and this is the first contract. So I'm asking you, it's okay for you from now onward to be identified as a terrestrial human being in general?
Yeah, got you. So obviously the definition of human would have to be cleared up, because if we're using the Oxford English language, then human would be a living soul like us. But if you're using Blacklaw's dictionary, a human is is defined as a sea monster.
That's why I told you here the word is terrestrial human being.
Yeah.
Altogether is a word. It's a complete word. Okay, terrestrial human being. That thing. Altogether. Can I read the definition for you?
Yeah, go for it.
For the others, because guys, we need to understand deeply these spiritual things now to join, because we are creating the new world monetary infrastructure, pretending to create that with Bitcoin, which will also be the infrastructure of our identities and all the other fucking documents. So will be the political structure of the world. So you see my vision now. You start to see my vision.
Yeah. It's like a world jurisdiction.
Yeah, and I'm not joking. It's 12 years. I'm doing this full time, volunteering my full life for this, and I will keep doing this. That's why I'm the politicator, the SirToshi of politics, if you want. But I don't care. It's Emanuele Nusca in this. I don't even care. It's this terrestrial that is talking here with you today,
Yep.
and in public, because all this is fucking public, cannot be hidden, cannot be, So, because, we are seeking for the truth. So I go ahead with the definition. The terrestrial human being is a being in flesh and blood, having human features, unique and unrepeatable, a biophysical, existential singularity with undefinable potential of creative expression, coming by birth from planet Earth, where she operates in the first instance and experiences the creation in relation to the possibilities that Earth offers, as long as he or she is alive, and rather as long as he or she remains in the possibilities of determining her own choices and manifesting them in an action recognizable by another terrestrial human being. That's the whole definition that will be the basic of the new one only documents, because the terrestrial human being are, it's that kind of creation. Now we need to classify us, not joke anymore. This definition ends up any philosophy. It's over. And this is a challenge for every philosopher. Come and debate me. Or we go even, or you're wrong. I'm sorry. I'm after the truth. So, or we establish a definition. It means we all cooperate. You cooperate, and you will propose changes to this definition, and we will discuss together, because I want the best definition for us, no matter what. That's why I'm open hands to anyone. That's the politics, the true politics, okay? And that's why this thing, after 10 years, no one has nothing to say. Everyone is good with it, because you still, that is containing in this match of words the full meaning of the fucking terrestrial human being, that is a piece of God, if you want to say that, or what that is. So the co-creator, by the way, of the terrestrial reality. You cannot deny that. The people now, from now on, that's the new world that wants to deny the fact that we are all co-creating this one and the same reality, in spite of the fact that, of course, we have our own very eyes and we see it differently and uniquely. It's still the same. That's it. That's my first standpoint. And then now I know, if someone disagrees with this, or he or she gives me a right explanation, and we are up to debate till I will die once again, or I am right and he or she is wrong. Period. Because I'm telling and verifying this publicly every day since 12 years, and it will keep going. So the application, let's see, the white paper of the application is ready. In the next days, I will also do in English a video explanation. I already did in Italian, and it's public knowledge, but no one cares. And today, perhaps, someone will start to care more. So that's why I really thank you, SirToshi, for what you're doing. And not today, the last 4 years, because you're doing an amazing job. But I really feel your desire to change this fucking world. But I'm telling you here, we need to do it together.
Yeah. People will unite due to economic incentive, and so what we're talking about then is a world jurisdiction, and it would have to be a common public record.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, but that's the first brink that we need to establish. Solve the identity and establish, unfortunately, yes, some links to the blockchain addresses, because it's the only way to do that. But it doesn't mean, because people are scared of that, I need to be privacy, this and that. But you know better than me, and you can explain better than me how privacy it can be managed, not fully disconnected, but managed inside of blockchain. So there's no discussion about that, and I'm all up for that. But on the other hand, yes, you need to disclose some information of yourself. And the best way is to show how beautiful you are, in my opinion. Start to show your face, start to show your name. Don't be scared. Step by step. I really pray and wait for the time that you, SirToshi, will become public with your face. But that will be up to you. Now, let's go back into the business. Value. What is value? Where is created value? Value is created only here and here in our mind and art or whatever else, because value is, again, a concept. A material value, a true value, is a service or something that you can touch or eat. So money is, again, not the real value, because it's the representation of value. So that's the theory. But also, now we come into Bitcoin, finally, because Bitcoin, to be money, it also needs a physical infrastructure that needs energies, it needs work to stay on. So no matter what, someone has to work with it, okay, has to keep even if you have free power, okay, free electricity, still someone needs to look at the computers, needs to look at the softwares, needs to look at the cables, needs to look at the infra fucking structure. So
Yep.
even if whichever document you will have, whether it's digital, whether it's paper, whether it's printed money or whatever, someone of us terrestrials, you see, needs to be in control of some fucking things. Do you agree on this?
So just being a little bit petty here, it's not necessarily in order for something to be a commodity, particularly a digital commodity, it has to be maintained. But there's a big difference between maintaining something that is set in stone and can't be changed and has never changed, compared to another protocol that, for example, is controlled.
Okay,
So,
let's go. Okay, but you see the difference where I'm pointing. The protocol is a thing, is the paper, how the infrastructure should or must work, and that's politics.
yeah. So the
Computer, of course, needs the material work of the hands of the people as much as, wait, this is important, as much as the click on the computer to transfer 1 billion of whatever. That number. The click to transfer the number. That's all we need to understand. The click to transfer the number, no matter how it costs in terms of infrastructure, you see, with that click, I move a big value. So, what I'm really moving, that's the question that we need to clarify. Okay? Because the actors are doing the clicks, but it are the same actors that are building the computer that allow the same actor to do the click. Terrestrials. That's the way out. I have the way out, the political way out for this, which is the identity, definition, and proper document creations on blockchain. If that is ready, in the next live, I will be happy to show with you, SirToshi, and with all. I want to tell this. We are going live in Twitch now, and I'm going live on my Twitch, on my YouTube, and on my Facebook. We can go live as many television we want. You just join my StreamYard. Every co-host, every guest can go on 2 channels. So I can just go on 15 channels at once. If people start to join a true debate without fear and without repeating what we know already, mature terrestrial human beings that want to evolve the knowledge and really explore new proposals without wasting time in stupid egotical fights. That's what I am. That's what I want to do. So go back. Value and the difference from the material value and the immaterial value. And all this, again, it's political. So the protocol, the agreeing on how the computer will run on. You see, that's when I say a public contract that defines the mechanics and the value of the unit of exchange. Now, the mechanics of the money itself, I say that Bitcoin fixes this, because overall I see Bitcoin as a new machine that, yes, remove this printer from the hands of a few people and distributed this printer among whoever takes it, right? And this group good. But still, whoever takes the printer needs to agree on the rule of that printer, because that printer, by the way, is not unique, because that printer is a paper overall, is the contract. And in fact, you can build as many of these distributed printers as much as you want, and that happened with the cryptos. Okay, so that's where we are at. So, and that's why it's obvious at this point that everyone should understand the concept that one will win all eventually, or nothing will happen and we will keep this limbo of speculations, lies, fiat world. This is the fiat world. The crypto world is the fiat world, because we are looking at the fiat. We are not looking at the world where only Bitcoin exists. Try to imagine that world. I'm working since day one. I really grasped the Bitcoin in 2012. I'm foreseeing a world only Bitcoin. If you do not do this exercise and you're only looking of a number to exchange with another number, that both of two are arbitrary papers, how can you ever find peace? Because you can cheat left and you can cheat right, because money itself is not worth anything because it's a contract. Money is worth the thing that I have in exchange. I need the apple, I need the computer, I need the whatever. I don't need money. If I can get the house without money, who gives a fuck about money? See, but now mature people knows that money is needed to ease the commerce, So, and now we have this fantastic money, kind of money, which is Bitcoin, that can ease the commerce even more. And at the same time, we are discovering the big lies of every other monetary system in the world, that because they are basically all fiat. Of course, but why that? And that's where we need to make an effort to forgive the history that was needed. Unfortunately, the fiat money, all this mess, all the wars, all the bad things that we lived, they were needed to understand that we are a bunch of dickheads, and unless we do not go out of our definitions of white, black, Muslim, gay, trans, lesbian, superheroes, this and that, Italians, and we become terrestrial human beings, the really owners of the land they were born, or they have the right to live, terrestrials, because they were the first to come into town. So they build the town. We build the town. It's not the town that built the citizen. You do not born a citizen. You're born an animal. That's what you need to remember. We need to remember, and I remembered it. That's why now I'm trying to tell the others, and as well trying to build something. So what I'm building here is the unified identification system, and it's a co-work. I'm not building myself. That's why I'm not starting yet with the developing side, despite the white paper is there, because I want not just a consensus as Satoshi did, that I still not found after 12 years, but also a minimum of, co-working before to launch and start the developing. It's not the problem of money, it's not the problem of others. Now everyone with the few $1,000 can program all the shit they want. just everyone. So, and I'm not, you see, I'm not rich, I'm not a millionaire, I don't want to be. I just don't like it. I do veg gardens since 12 years. Before I was doing a pretty technological life. Now I grow my gardens. I have 3 veg gardens. I produce tons of food and I do tons of politics online. That's the change of my life. And I already living in a quote unquote Bitcoin world, but I will live in a terrestrial world. That's the truth. There is no Bitcoin world. Bitcoin will be an instrument. It's a fucking money and it's a pain in the ass to work with that. So kudos to the people that wants to work in that environment, all the coders, all the days like that on the computer. It's painful. So I want to pay them to do that. But since unfortunately within this new system, they are also buyers, sellers, they live their normal life, right? Every now and then they turn off their computers. They need to eat, they need to have a shower, they need to so they need to use the same money they are developing, controlling, taking care of. And this, you see, is the same of the banks. And this will never change. Why? Because once again, we terrestrials are the creators of every instrument. And so everything now, from now on, will be politics, will be political. Because all we agree on these public instruments, and but why we need all these public instruments? Because we are evolved. We no longer live in fucking caves. We no longer ride horses. We won't fucking go 200 miles on the road. And thanks God we go 200 miles on the road. I want to. So, and there's nothing wrong, but we are killing ourselves for this parasitic game just because we're not telling the truth. We want to cheat on others, and you know better than me. That's why I love you so much. And you say that every show, these parasite traders, investors, institutions, investors, all this one word, parasites. That's it. And their karma now is going to regulate, because it cannot last, because or the parasited creature dies, so, and the parasite dies as well, or we, the best, I'm talking about me, the best terrestrials will filter out all the rest, the ones that they don't want to come out of the cages and see, yes, it's me, I'm a terrestrial, what we do here, terrestrials. All the rest are out. All Italians, British, whatever, white, black, Muslim, out. For me, they're out since 12 years. Of course, it's a process, okay? It's a process. This is a process, and it's hard. But I'm out. I started that process, and I know that I'm not crazy. This is not utopia. Why? Because I'm verifying every day, and I build more every day, and then it never fails, this theory. So it stays on, and now I'm, after 10 years, I'm ready. I'm really ready to build the application, and I want to do within the next 1/1 year and a half, because I need ready for 2027, because in 2027, a new mayor of the town I live I will be elected, so I will be involved in something else I'm proposing, because remember, I'm also envisioned a new voting system, the perfect choice and the dual voting system. So these are all joined things together, and I need Bitcoin to make all this mess work. So yes, I want Bitcoin, but now let's go into Bitcoin. Let's go straight to the point. We need to fucking own and control Bitcoin politically. SirToshi, that's it.
Yeah, well, so the protocol of Bitcoin has been around since digital data was first created. A bit like the concept of the number one. The concept of nobody invented the concept of the number one. What it took was for somebody to express it and for everybody to agree on that form of expression. And it's the same with the Bitcoin protocol. Craig didn't actually invent it. What he did is he expressed it. He saw how to do it, but he didn't create it, because when he saw how to do it, he realized that's the only way it can be done. So it wasn't really something that he created. It was something that he saw, and it's just like, right, this is how it has to be done.
I completely agree with that. But that is the same, and I tell you, for every inventor, because that's the process how we, terrestrials, channeled the ideas into reality. We realized that the will is the will. That's it.
Yeah.
So, just the others need time to realize that. And it's the same for me. I'm bringing to the world the knowledge of the perfect choice of this dual vote, +1, -1, two options, the best and the worst together. That's the concept. So pretty easy, pretty stupid, but you will see how fucking change everything. And this idea, this came to me. In fact, it's not my creation. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I agree. We channel the things from the existence. See, we are not inventors. We are terrestrial, because again, the inventor is like is the role you want to be. You are not an inventor. You are not a genius. You're not a painter. You're not. Yeah, you. That's your job eventually. Later, first and foremost, you are. You will stay. You're born. You will die a terrestrial human being. And there's nothing you can do about that aside that cope with that. And more you cope with that, and more you discover how many fucking things a terrestrial human being can do. The others are limiting their expression just because they are Italian. Pizza, mandolino, mafia, Ferrari, and all this bullshit. I always hated. Of course, I'm proud of my Italianity, but wait, I'm a terrestrial. I'm not the average Italian. No, I don't want to be, and I'm screaming this. I am me. I don't want to be confused with any one of the other 7 billion. I mean, how much we are, I don't know. And I would like to know, in fact, eventually. Okay, so this is my theory. It's pretty straightforward, hard, harsh, and that's why I'm calling Satoshi, because he did a mess of a thing instead with his social political life. In spite of the fact that he invented this great thing, then how he put it forward after 2011, he made a mess because he left. It was, well, it happens what it happens. I'm not, accusing him. It is what it is.
But that was, he had to leave in order for the network to go through the process of commoditization.
That's another story. After he left, he didn't secure its way back. You see, that's what happened. Now we are recognizing he's not coping yet with the mistake he did. That's my opinion on him. And that's why more he's stubborn on his lies, and more he's not going anywhere. And by the way, he's still not recognizing that is a public platform. So why is not participating with us in the public debates as one terrestrial human being? And he wants to still be Satoshi or Dr. Craig Wright, Reverendum Craig Wright, or what the fuck. You see? That's the childish nature still of the man, in spite of the fact that he's a big inventor. But look, I explain you why. This is happening to me as well. People consider me mad. You're mad. You want to change the politics of the world. You're mad. You want to do you want to beat the Italian European system. Now they're doing now. You know that, right? You want to do? Yes, I'm doing. Here, the white paper. It's possible. It's not utopia. I'm doing since 12 years, and no one stopped me. They can kill me anytime. Come, just do it. It's not happening. So that's the thing. But we need to do it together, because otherwise we'll never work. So Satoshi needs help, but he's not asking for help. He doesn't want help. He's refusing help. But that's what happened with the big inventors, with big things. That's why I'm alone, fortunately, and better alone than have parasites around, snakes around. That's what happened when you are an inventor, SirToshi. And Craig, I'm sure, I know he's full of parasites all around him. You cannot trust anyone. That's why he's so weak as well. And all the others are not doing anything in public. Everyone has his own little filthy agenda, SirToshi. That's the truth. That everyone knows, no one tell. I'm the only one. That's why I'm not accepted, SirToshi, in the BSB spaces. No one wants to talk with me. You are the first, finally, after 4 years, here to talk to me, to have the balls to open this live channel with the Politicator. So today it's a great fucking day, 6th of December, and today is 6, 12, 24. Look what a great progression. Okay, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. 2 times 6, 6, 6. So, yeah. If you want, I will be the devil of everyone else. It doesn't matter. You see, this is what it is. Let's play, because now we know how to play, but we cannot, again, serve 2 patrons. We need to make a choice. Truth or the old paradigm of lies, speculations, markets that we still personing. A market is not a person telling every time markets do shits, the bank does that, the governments are filthy. It's all useless words. Now we need to evolve in words, SirToshi, as well. Getting to the point, getting to the truth, modify the speech. Yes, modify the dialectic, modify the words, stay to the truth of the concept. Do not waste time anymore. Okay? That is how new people will emerge. People able to have a civil conversation, but not just because they do not scream or they do not think the bad words. I'm fucking first all the time, but I'm stating the truth of the fact. If you're trolling me, that's over. I scream 5 minutes and then I switch off. I go away. I don't have time to waste with you anymore. I only speak with terrestrials that wants to solve things and want to have for me, because I'm here to share. I'm here to fucking give. Yes, so just go ahead, parasite me, because I give you the truth. So if you are in the lies, my truth is venom for you. You see that? It's a virus. That's why you stay away from me. And it's okay, because that's the truth of the thing. I'm alone, but I'm free of parasites. You see that logic? So now I want to find other terrestrials that wants to exchange this energy without screwing or without fucking screwing each other, just because the asymmetry of information. Just because I know more of you, and that's the real true power, what you really deeply know. That's the power, the information. That's why information is it's money, and money it's information. And that's why I agree with you. And I know that you get the concept. You are probably without probably. You are one of the few that understood the concept that I can testify. Yes, I will put my hands on. Despite I don't know who the fuck you are, I will put my hands on fire. That based on what you said, I know that you know why data are valuable. But since data is intangible, right? It's on paper. It can burn anytime, and we need to watch at it. And watch at it is a job. It's an energy. So data, that's the maintenance of the thing. Whichever you wanna, the memory needs to be maintained. It's the same. That's the data. It's the memory of the fact. But it's not the apple. It's not the apple. That needs to be maintained, but cannot be maintained forever. You need to maintain the tree forever, eventually. So, and all this basic stupid stuff, now we need to join together. All this basic truth that we know You see, we need to join together, and we have the possibilities to do that, but we need to do this big effort again. Have a common definition of money, and now we're getting there. I will give you once again mine. Money all over as a concept. It's a public agreement on the mechanics and on the value of the unit of exchange. And the value is a number. Remember, it's only a number. So it all will always be arbitrary. Like the 21 millions of Bitcoin. It's an arbitrary number. Could that be 41, 32, 1 billion or 3? Doesn't matter. Why doesn't matter? Because yes, we change the value of money in case we need. Because the world, yes, it is a monopoly in the facts, in the matter, is a monopoly. It's a finite place. You cannot build two houses on the same spot. Doesn't matter how much fucking money you want to fucking pay. That's the sad reality that we need to cope. So it doesn't matter you multiply the money and you multiply the value. But if you are in this game, you see that there is war, because everyone can cheat on every level once again. So now Bitcoin fixes the fact that we have a finite numbers of units, and no one can cheat it, no one can steal it, no one can add more. But this is all relative. This is all relative, because at the end of the days, at the end of the chain, or at the start of the chain, there is someone that is building the computers and is writing the software. And in case it needs to have the power to touch the software and the machine, because if the machine or the software for some fucking reason gets broken, who's gonna fucking fix it? So, and again, we cannot exit the responsibility to be creators, to be co-creators on Earth now. The old school, the old say, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job. I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, but now you need to realize, yes, you're only doing your job, but you are making damage on this side that up to now you weren't realizing, but now you're realizing. I'm here, I'm showing you while you're doing your job, because you're building weapons that someone gonna fucking throw. So yes, you are participating to war, period. You know, if you give money to an homeless that you know that you offer prospects, you offer some work, you want to help them and trying to teach something to the given opportunity. But after a while, you see that, and this is my experience. My experience, I did a lot of charity in time. I did a lot of mistakes, because later I realized that I was growing bad plants. I was growing parasites. So now, not only I'm not giving my money to the poor people, because they're lying, they're actors. Most of them are actors. And I know, because I'm all the time ready to verify putting my money on my words. Come up, I will teach you a job. I will take care of you for months. I will teach you a job. I will give you a perspective, and I did again. I have this experience in my life, SirToshi. I'm not talking words here. I have witnesses. I built a chain of witnesses in my life, huge. So everything I'm saying is pure truth and can be verified in time. Yes, I leave track of what I did in the past. Contrary to Satoshi, he did not properly, just for the sake of something that was wrong in his head at the time, in my opinion, of course. Then now he needs to repair. He still needs to repair the mistake of the past. That's the thing of the terrestrials as well. That's a mechanic of our body that is our tool, our machine, and you can do fucking nothing about that aside of knowing yourself, once again, how you work and take your decision how you want to work as well. Okay? So, yeah, and we are here for to help him. I want to help Credit Bribe but it needs to become a terrestrial human being first and foremost. And look, I also know that you really understood.
It's 13 hours.
Yes, thank you very much. 13 hours. That you really understood that the matter of the tribunal. There's people there. Those are terrestrials. Who give the judge power to rule on you? Who the fuck he or she is? And look.
Well, this is the problem that Craig has got. Well, this is the problem that Craig has got, and anybody in Bitcoin has got, which is why it's being suppressed. And that is that we are up against a corporate machine. You know, they literally turned us into stock since 1666. And, you know, the legal system, the financial system, everything uses corporate entities. Whereas it's Bitcoin that brings the living man or woman, or as you would say, the terrestrial human being, out from behind that corporate veil. And that's the issue that we're dealing with right now. Everything is corrupt because a dead entity has no rights whatsoever. And so this lot are steamrolling over us with the legal system, the political system, the financial system, and Bitcoin disrupts all of that, you know? And they're trying to stop it. So that's the fight that we've got at the moment, and that's why they've subverted BTC and segregated the signatures. They allowed BCH to go on. I mean, the regulators allowed the shitcoin market to develop. You know, it's just corruption, like, to its absolute core.
Agree, and I'm shouting this since, again, actually 13 years. Yesterday and today, it's the birthday of my new life as a politicator. I would say I'm shouting this since I understood in the really, by the way, deep mechanics why it's all quote unquote corrupted. Because remember, terrestrials are building the system. The system is up just because the consensus of the slaves, so-called, we are giving the people still voting, and the people that, yes, the majority is not voting anymore. But you see, the so-called system, aka those terrestrials that have power to say, just because they declared that there is a state, they declare that they are empowered, they declare that you need to be elected and become a muppet of politician to have a say on something. They decide the system, they sign the contracts. In fact, you never, you as an average citizen, okay, never ever signed any political contracts that are the description of your future life, basically. How stupid are you? You see? So now, after I understood this, the first thing first, I removed my consensus for that system. So I try to interact the minimum as possible. So I try to cut in time. I cut it in time all the channel of the energy that goes out from me toward the parasite. Tick, 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 tick. So since many years, they're not stealing anything out of me. They're not controlling me. They're still trying to do, okay? But doesn't matter. I have money for them. I have the filthy money to throw into them filthy faces if they want it, because that game is over, okay? And by the way, I'm building the new, because if we do not build a new, how? I mean, we need a house. If the house falls apart, you are out of the house. We are out of the house. I mean, if a big disruption happens in these cities, you know, the majority of the population will suffer. So what we want to do, that is my question. So I have proposals. Let's go. I want to give you another notion, because about politics. So define politics. Politics is the art and the science to come to an agreement. That's what that is. So it has nothing to do with governments, has nothing to do either with politicians, has nothing to do with parties, has nothing to do with everything else, has nothing to do with ideologies, philosophies, nothing. It only has to do with the ability of the terrestrials, because we terrestrials, are the contractors, are the contracting element that give birth to the contract that allow us to join our spiritual energy and to get more energy in terms of products than the quantity that we put in the system before. That's why we contract, and that's why we want to do that. Okay, but in time we basically delegate as well this art that we have, or we never really understood that. That's how we co-created this system where we delegated our powers at the point that we don't even know or remember how to use this this power of negotiation. What I do with you, what you do with me, what we do together, that's politics. So this is my revelation for this moment here. Every terrestrial human being is a politician by default. Why? Because every one of us has the possibility to decide to remember the past, envision a sort of future. Doesn't matter if 1 minute or 1 day in the past or in the future, but we have these abilities, and we have the abilities to program what we want to do in the future. And based on all this, we can also we co-create. That's the process of how we co-create. And more we join together in this, we terrestrial human beings, more again we see what we built, all the skyscrapers, the cities, the fantastic technology that we have in our hands, something crazy. When I was young, when I was a kid, I was crazy about the electronics. The LED light wasn't there. I had the first LEDs came out, I had in my hands my first red LEDs, and then years later, only years later, the yellow LED and the green LED came out. Wow, this is crazy LED. And now we have micro LEDs, textures, we have whatever. So what this means? What this means? We get to the bottom of the matter, SirToshi.
Get to the bottom of the what?
Of the matter.
Oh, the matter. Yeah.
But in the true sense and in the broader sense, there's nothing else to discover in the matter. Now we need to cope with all we discover and start to use it. It's the same parallelism. Look, just because the reality is fractal, with Bitcoin, we have 16 years of experience of wars, of mayhem within the so-called crypto world, right? When we start to capitalize all this experience, that means throw away the majority of the shit and join together to make one skyscraper, for example, given the fact that now we know how a house needs to be built. And we understood that it's stupid to build, well, you can have your own house, but to give a good parallelism, for example, 8 billion veggie gardens, 8 billion small solar panels, 8 billion plants. How stupid is that? 8 billion nodes. How stupid is that? We evolved just because we somehow centralized, yes, the powers. We need to do that. But now we know that is also dangerous if we delegate and we forget the system. Then who is in the system gets more power and loses the plot that the sector he is operating, he is always existing just because every other sector, not just the neighbors, because the earth and the universe and the whole thing is one thing. And that's another philosophical principle that now we need to agree, because it's demonstrated, is that philosophers still wants to debate and do, philosophers are like the blockchain's creator. Everyone wants to have their own because they want to. The religions is the same. Religions are philosophy, basically. So in 2000 years now, if they didn't reach to a conclusion, well, I did for all. I'm sorry. It's over because it's logic, it's mathematic, it's scientific, it's dialectic. Yes, because the words are at the basic of the creation for the politicians. That's why we terrestrial human beings are so powerful animals, but still we are animals. We are made of flesh and blood and every fucking thing else, as much as any other animal in the perhaps universe, but let's stay at the earth because it's the only thing that we really truly know up to now, right? And now we know this, we cannot deny this fucking fact that the terrestrial human being is a political animal. That's it. That's the sad true reality that the terrestrials, once again, don't want to really cope. We don't want to cope with this. I wasn't coping with this. I discovered in my life with all my investigation, and that's why I'm here telling all of you. So if you want that the politician give away their power, you will never succeed because would you give away your power? Why, SirToshi? If you have a power, why should you give away your power? You see, there's no way. But so you can acquire your power. You can build your power. You can build your system. So this is another mindset change that many people, in my opinion, should do. Instead of looking and envying others for what they do or what they're doing bad, stop fucking judging me. Show how you're fucking doing well. So eventually they will come. But if you only present them a white paper and you never tried yourself, you see, that's the basic. So once again, I'm up for political discussions and solutions on the blockchain. I have it. I want to tell you, SirToshi, because probably you don't know, I also have this system, the perfect choice system, and the manual of that is translated in 16 languages, not 3, like the rest of the definition, 16 languages, because that shit works, period. And it's a knowledge. Once you study the manual, you know how to apply your voting system, that voting system with the dual vote, how to read the results, and that's it. You have that knowledge. You don't need anything else than a paper and pen to run your poll. But of course, we need the digital system to have large numbers of voters. Yes, I want to run fucking terrestrial polls if needed, if necessary, if we want. Now we can fucking do it. I'm envisioning 8 billions of wallets fucking doing politics every day because I see politics doing with this. Everyone using these fucking things every day. So why we cannot use in 8 billions to do fucking politics since we have AI, investigators, oracles, all the fucking machinery to extract data and study in large numbers. So what's the problem there? You see the problem? Who is controlling the machine? Because we not trust each other. And we cannot trust the machine because the machine is built by someone else, which is another. So, or we start to trust each other and the builders on the machine, because I know you and you know me, and we fucking established on a piece of paper that is written on the same machine that we are working together for this and how and eventually what and everything else. Otherwise, it's someone that wants to be more special than another once again. So, or you are looking for a God, a new Jesus, a new president, a new Superman, I will rule fucking everything because I'm the best, or we do together, trying to listen at the others what we have in our hands. So I have many things in our hands, SirToshi, and really I love you for all these hearing that you're giving me today, I was praying for this to happen since years. And today,
Hey,
thank you, thank you, thank you.
that's brilliant. Yeah. So the issue that everybody's got at the moment is just finding a jurisdiction that's recognised by this corporate machine, because this corporate machine is a corporate machine. It can't recognise anything, because it's a corpse entity. However, we have found the jurisdiction of the Maroons in the Treaty of 1739, where the British, who were operating under the corporate maritime jurisdiction, created a sovereign jurisdiction that they recognised, which was effectively the sovereign Maroons. And what's interesting about the jurisdiction they created there is that it's non-geographical. They actually created a sovereign jurisdiction, which means the corporate machine can't deny it, because they're the ones that took part in creating it. So we can use that in combination with Bitcoin. So that's the way around it. But at the moment, it's just because the corporate machine is so big and controls every aspect of our lives, financially, politically, economically. It's just getting in there, and trying to establish some kind of jurisdiction within it, because they're just steamrolling everyone at the moment. Heading towards their one world government, hiding behind the corporate veil.
Agree. Again, agree everything. I studied everything. I know everything of this.
Yeah, well, I'm up for it. It's probably going to have to be.
I have nothing to debate with you. Nothing. I agree on everything you say. So try to tell something that you think I will not agree with you. Try.
Oh,
Try.
when did you discover that BSV was Bitcoin?
Sorry, say again. Sorry.
When did you discover that Bitcoin was BSV?
Yeah, again, in 2019, because I free myself from my thing I was doing, because at the time I had most of the thing done, and I really jumped to grasp these things. So and that's why I'm poor, because I compared. That's why I didn't hold up to that. But because I'm after the truth. So when I discovered the truth, that was done for me. It's done.
So what was that light bulb moment where you discovered the truth?
When I rewatched, because I probably watched in 2015 that fucking video with Craig Bright and the Ethereum guys, once again with someone that say, look, but you're missing the story, because I joined the BSN. Now I'm remembering how specifically I joined the BSD Telegram channel, because I wanted to know information how to split this BSB and separate it, put in a new wallet, because I was still, by the way, agnostic at that time. I was still holding every fork, or following, but eventually I was already within the Bitcoin Cash mentality. Okay, since later happened, since Bitcoin, I started, fuck, this works, because I was already sick of the transactions at $100 in 2017. I mean, I was aware of everything was happening. I was there. I was aware of all the dickheads during shitty conversation to cheat on each other, never get to a point. But I wasn't aware of the true whys at the bottom. I wasn't aware of Craig Bright, because so much smoke. My position was really from an average user. With this, in spite of the fact of all my knowledge, I was never a miner. I was never, again, a speculator. I was never an investor. So I still didn't grasp that thing, right? So, but I still was, and I still think I have a life, because I never delete anything from my channel, just for the sake of the history. Lives where I was sponsoring Bitcoin Cash. Look, this fucking is the Bitcoin that works. We have transaction fast. You can do this and that. QR. I gifted in time many Bitcoin to
Oh.
sponsor it. Yeah, I am an evangelist. If you look as well, what else I did, I have a series of 7 videos at about 2 hours each. So it's more, but about 20 hours just on the BSB story did last year during the processes. I explained everything to my Italian audiences. So it's witnessable. You can consider me an evangelist, but you don't know me because I'm prickly. I'm deep. Because I want the full truth, and so I also expose the bad sides of BSB. But let's go back into the story, the history. So at a certain point, these BSB guys, I'm talking with them, but why this fork happened, start to get more information. But because we follow the true Satoshi, we follow Great Right because it's Satoshi. Wait a minute, what fucking talking about? Yes, he is Satoshi. You still don't know, you still didn't understood what you're talking about. So let's go check this video. Again, but I watched this, I was remembering this. Let's see it once again. And suddenly, for a moment, that's fucking Satoshi. Like that, just like that. I grasped it from a couple of phrases. What doing? He was so sure of this thing. Because now, this is a part of my ability as well, of a politicator. I get the people. If I want it, if I know the argument of the conversation, I get if you're lying or not to me. That's just a matter of time for me. And I'm after that, one by one. Every terrestrial human being, my dear SirToshi, whether you believe it or not. Okay? So it appears me clear. So from there, it was another month or two. I start to read and rewatch everything, looking over again, Craig Wright, or what he's doing, all his craziness. And that's Satoshi. I just had confirmations after confirmation. But at the same time, I know how fucking rotten in his brain, in his social political brain he is. Poor guy, and I'm not denying that. So I am full hand on the fire that he is Satoshi, but at the same time I know that he needs to be helped, and we are not helping him.
Well, it's because a lot of people don't know how to help him. I mean,
he doesn't want to be helped. So that's why we need to take, responsibility and get him. But not with a parasitic mind, because and the way to do it, that me and you and the other are forming the public that take over the control of our public ledger. So if it is a public ledger, who is managing it? What's the public that's managing it? Who is the public that is addressing it? Who is that? So I want to define the public. And the public, every public in the world, is a group of terrestrials. Those are the right, correct, specific, scientific, philosophical, semantic words. I just want to use the proper semantics and proper words, and not to cheat on the words, because the words are the basic of the contracts. Words are the instructions of the computer's words are the blockchain. Composes the blockchain itself. Words are Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a digital word, right? It's a bit. It's a sequence of letters and numbers at the end of the day. Whichever complicated you want to consider your keys, still, it's a word. It's nothing. See, it's pure information. So I need Apple to it. I need goods to exchange. The wealth is in the good in exchanges, not in all these bloody numbers that are going to collapse all at once. So, but still, are we prepared for that collapse? I don't think so. I don't know. When I'm building a new infrastructure,
yeah, it has to collapse because it's just a Ponzi scheme. The crypto market, the central banking system, and they know it's just a matter of time, and it's gonna be really bad when it does. But I'm hoping that its collapse will be structured rather than just simply wiped out. I mean, that's what I hope anyway, because a kind of a race to the bottom, like, is inevitably going to happen with the crypto market. Unfortunately, with the central banks, they're going to have to slowly come on board, because there are going to be other banks who are going to be able to outcompete the others in terms of their efficiency when they start using the Bitcoin ledger for all of their digital requirements. Because every bank is a corporation. The corporation has got shareholders. Shareholders want profits. They want the increase in the dividend return and all that. And that's what the Bitcoin ledger enables. It enables huge digital data efficiencies. So I'm hoping that rather than them just getting wiped out, I'm hoping that the world kind of progresses and sort of moves on to the Bitcoin standard. That's what I hope.
I do not hope that. I want that.
Yeah.
I'm working for that. That's the difference. SirToshi, do you want that? Are you working for that? Or are you just hoping that someone else will do? Because if you want that, you have to do. That's where Craig said we need to eat our own shit. I'm saying the same. I'm saying the same. But we need to do it, we need to cook it properly, because raw is not good. And we need to do it together. We need to agree on the recipe. Because otherwise we will not eat.
Yeah. Well, I would say that the recipe is the constitution that already exists. Most countries have laws and policies in place that everybody agrees to, and then obviously we just need to put right everything that the corporate machine is doing wrong, and literally genetically modifying food and pumping us with like poisons and toxins and all this shit. So we need to start coming together as a group of human terrestrials and say, look, this is what we want. We don't want to be poisoned. We don't want genetically modified shit. We don't want to be replaced by machines, and we don't want war. We want harmony. But again, I mean, we've been in this state for so long, and those who control the corporate machine, like the CIA, that have done all these psychological operations on everybody in the world for such a long time, with so many people being asleep, sort of calcifying the pineal gland so that people can't see it. I mean, what they've done is just, I mean, if from a criminal perspective, what they've done is absolutely sensational. It's almost better than any Hollywood movie could ever script.
Exactly, SirToshi. In fact, we should take the lessons. We should take the good thing they do, how they do things. Because the so-called you see, who are they? They're still terrestrials.
True, yeah, but they're the mafia.
Yeah, you see that. So why we don't have a we? Who are we? There is no we. There is no community. In fact,
well, that's what Bitcoin will create. When people start using the Bitcoin standard, that will create the group, the organization that you're talking about.
We can debate. Okay, I see the other way around. Again, the terrestrial, the community first, then Bitcoin.
Yeah. So I would say Bitcoin first, then community.
If we're not there, yes, I want to use it. It means that I'm ready to spend some energies to try this thing. I mean, that's where I'm really investing, because everyone is only speculating in this market. If you do not act as a terrestrial, your brain is disconnected. You're still working in the fiat environment. Again, I will tell you another words related to money. Money is not meant to be made. There's no sense. Make money. What are telling that? Money is meant to be spent and earned.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, very
See?
good.
So since then, if you have this clear concept, everything else, the moment that you are even considering to exchange whichever money with another kind of money, you're already off the plot of whatever. You see what we really built in the world. That's the scary thing that we need to fix. All these massive numbers. And so and there is no way out of that. There's no way to fix that. Or unless you encapsulate it, yes, in a superior jurisdiction, time by time, but it still is the people. So, in fact, I want to build the so-called BSV community, but will not be the BSV community. Straight away, the terrestrial community, which is there. It's already on Earth. Okay? But we just need to see it. And the way to see it is that terrestrials like me raise their hand. Yes, I am one. I am one of those. I am a terrestrial human being. I'm here. I'm not scared. And I have a system, because when you will explore the application of the documents, how it works and how the document is created, probably you will agree with me again on this solution. But again, you see, one by one, two terrestrial, three terrestrials, four terrestrials, five terrestrials, because the infrastructure of this document needs to be built on one blockchain. Which one? If not BSV, which is the original fucking Bitcoin. So I need BSV to work. But to have BSV to work, we need people to work. Because it's the people that is not working properly in BSV. The machine works, computers fine, they have no fucking problem. Okay? Protocols, we can write any number, we can protocol. Where's the agreement? See? So I'm building that, a true, real, final fucking agreement, which is valid, but not because I'm saying, once again, but because it's scientifically valid, provable. You don't need me to apply, to enforce it. It's a method. Again, it's a white paper overall. Even the system of voting system, the dual voting system, again, it's a voting system. You just study it, how it works, and you fucking apply. That's it, period. But those two things, plus another that will come, plus the blockchain, plus the overall jurisdiction that you were telling before, and plus another document I will add on top of this. The OPPT document, yeah, we can sort all that out. So I want to ask you, do you know this set of documents, OPPT, One People Public Trust 1776? Did you have
I don't.
What that mean?
No, I've never heard of that.
Okay. Those are very important documents, in my opinion, that were issued back in 2011, 12, and 13. You find the link on the terrestrial website. Wait, I will in this. Only one of the two documents that are posted on this all that are referencing all this world of the terrestrial thing. So the one is the identity book, or identity history, whatever is the name, the book that Ian Grigg wrote, because that's perfect, and it's a knowledge, it's a basic knowledge, how the history of how the identity works, what the identity is, which is your history and the knowledge that others have of you, and something that is witnessable and recognizable from the other. So you cannot have an identity, you alone, as a terrestrial human being, is that if you have not someone else which is kind of the same thing, can recognize you as such, and you can recognize the other one as such as well. Same thing. And it's written in the definition. You know, the last part of the sentence was, if a terrestrial human being is all this, if he's alive and is able to recognize another and the other recognize him. Otherwise, you're no longer a terrestrial. You are, because it means that you are dead in a brain. Yes, you're still a terrestrial body, but your soul, your ability to act consciously is not there. That's the difference. Terrestrial from another human being. Terrestrial human being is a conscious being that knows what he or she is doing and why.
Very good, very good. Yeah, so I've just seen we've been going for a 1 hour 34 minutes. It's been an epic chat today. It's been really good. So it's probably better. I'll tell you what I'll do is all those documents that you've got and your website and things like that, what I can do is I can post them out. well, I can probably mention them on another show, but I can also post them out on Twitter.
Yeah, because we said a lot of things, and in fact, then I was lost in the preface. I didn't talk what is the brief about this document. Sorry, I will do now because it's very, very important, and you go see because it's huge. It's a huge set of documents, but basically, it's a set of documents that is recorded on the UCC, the Uniform Community. You know the UCC, right?
Yeah.
Which is the body of laws, basically, that the SEC is watching. Where all the declarations of the big corporations look at, to regulate their business. So in this set of documents, a lawyer, she was a lady during these years, reconstructed basically the whole story of the jurisdiction of humanity, and all this paradigm exposed all this way of convicting souls, to say, so to believe within this system, in the same system. And these things was unrebutted the whole time. And the final document basically declared that the whole thing is made and done by the eternal essence. She calls it like that. And so now, and at the end of this process of documents, she basically created a trust, the One People Public Trust, where she put inside every property of the world, every document, every legal entity existing, in words, in paper. And that document, after 2013, was never rebutted. So many people in the world, many sovereign movements as well, because I know that matter. That's why I know that you know the way you speak about tribunals, what's happened there. I know you know, But and this is very compelling thing. So it's but very few people is talking about this now. Everything is almost disappearing, except the documents are there, the link, of course. Very few people is talking about these documents. And very few people really grasped the thing of these documents, because basically it's clear to the same system that the same system is a system of lies. So that means that every terrestrial human being is allowed to act however he or she wants, basically, if he or she knows this, though. Because at the end of the day, once again, it's all a matter of human evolution. It's how much you know you can do, then you do. If you don't know, if you don't even know that certain things exist, how you can even imagine that you want to have that, or you want to have an experience in those things. So that's why that document is important, and that's why, in my opinion, since 2013 we are in this limbo. That's why 2012 as well had its own importance in time, and that's why now, after 12 other years, and now these days it's all happening. Bitcoin the fake Bitcoin BTC is breaking 100K. Now on the 18th, after this, we don't have the president in the United States. We have wars everywhere. It's happening, and no one is in control anymore. All the institutions are already out of control, guys. But this is like to be on a bus where the bus driver is collapsing, and we are all seeing him, and we do not want to take responsibility to do something, and we're just hoping that the bus will stop somehow, or that the bus conductor will still reach the destination, and that's not happening, because it's politics, it's human evolution, and it's what is happening. Thank you very much, SirToshi.
That's all right. It's been great, Emanuele. Thank you very much for your time. So, we'll wrap up the show on that one. And again, stay tuned. We'll probably do this again as you're knowledgeable on the UCC code and everything like that. That's so important. So, hopefully we'll all ride this out. And next year is going to be big. 2025. I think I've been told that Terranode is hopefully coming on due Q1 2025. So carry on with your plans, and hopefully it should all be good. Fingers crossed. And if I don't see you beforehand, have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Sure. To everyone else, and we are here, not going anywhere. So I'll keep debating with everyone else. If everyone wants to come, let's contact me and do it. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. All right, cheers, Emmanuel. See you later. Thanks. Bye. There we go. So that was me and Emmanuel having a little chat there. He actually knows a lot. It's good to hear another BSVer that knows what's going on in the world. You know, all the judges and politicians, they're just simply following UCC codes and they're not following the constitution of the country. And the only way we're going to come together is through economic incentive, which is why the cabal, the corporate machine, are desperate to hide Bitcoin from us. And I can just see Preve looking at the price there. It's $78. Let's have a quick look at CoinDance before I go, because I need to check these figures every day. Oh, what's happened to CoinDance? Saying $83, getting me excited. Preve saying $78. What's going on with the block size then? Just quickly, let's have a look. Oh, there we go. What a deal. 211 megabytes. That's the biggest one there. Oh, no other chance to look out on CoinDance. Let's have a look at the transactions just quickly. 37 million. Come on. Just cross-reference that one. Look at that. 37 million transactions. You beauty. Let's have a look at that. Compare Bitcoin to Gregcoin just over this last month. Oh, 30 minutes. There we go. December. Come on. Let's have it. There we go. Oh, just coming down a little bit today, but that's all right. Had a great month, rallying ahead of Gregcoin. Orange Gateway. Oh yeah, $79 there. That matches. And let's have a quick look at the overall market. Almost a $3.6 trillion market cap now. Whoa. Gregcoin under $100, $98,000 with a high of 103,000. All right, and let's just have a look at Bitcoin just quickly. Where are we now? Where's it buried? Down at number 83. Look at that. Crazy. Where's all the volume? OKX, Gate.io. Where is the liquidity? Oh, Changelly Pro hit BTC. Interesting. Right, there we go. That is a 1 hour, 40-minute plus show. So we'll leave you there. Hope you enjoyed it. And as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.